Yellowstone supervolcano warning, sign of magma rushing towards the surface, identified in this chilling reveal. Yellowstone supervolcano eruption would spark devastation across the world, of course, and a science writer identified how a scenario could unfold if there were to be a super eruption. The caldera inside Yellowstone National Park, called a supervolcano because of its ability to inflict catastrophe on a worldwide scale in the event of a super eruption. It formed during the three last big events: the Huckleberry Ridge eruption 2.1 million years ago, the Mesa Falls eruption 1.3 million years ago, and the Lava Creek eruption about 630,000 years ago. It's located between the states of Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, an area monitored by the USGS Yellowstone Volcano Observatory for signs that could repeat itself. Now, science writer Brian Walsh explored what could be chilling detail in his recently published book, End Times, A Brief Guide to the End of the World, and he says, first would come a swarm of increasingly intense earthquakes, a sign that magma was rushing towards the surface. The pressure would build until like a champagne bottle given a vigorous shake, and the magma would burst through the ground in a titanic eruption that would discharge the toxic innards of the earth into the air. It would continue for days, burying Yellowstone in lava within a 40-mile radius of the eruption, he says. But the devastation would be worldwide and not local. He details Yellowstone plume of ash and lava and volcanic gases would reach the height of at least 15 miles high and make their way across the continent of North America. He says hospitals would be choked with victims coughing up blood as the silicate in the ash slashes at their lungs, and worse still, the ash could poison crops and create a worldwide volcanic winter in which global average temperatures could plunge as much as 8 degrees Celsius for over 10 years. It could produce a recipe for a global starvation event and may endanger hundreds of millions of people, he says. He explains, and he continued last year in his text saying, a Yellowstone supervolcano eruption would be the first truly continental scale disaster. In every past catastrophe, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, most of the U.S. remained untouched, which meant safe parts could divert aid to take in refugees from affected areas. But no corner of the continental United States would be exempt from effects from this supervolcano. A FEMA estimate pegged the total damage to the U.S. from a Yellowstone supervolcano, super eruption that is, at about $3 trillion. That's some 16% of the country's GDP. Now, the USGS thankfully estimates the probability of such an eruption is 1 in 730,000 in any given year. A recent study also suggests that the hotspot could currently be in a state of decline, and this finding was based on an analysis of volcanic deposits that were scattered across tens of thousands of kilometers in the area. End Times, A Brief Guide to the End of the World, published by Hachette Books. This is by Express UK, Callum Hoare. Please leave your comments. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.